Interstate RVer Show with your host, Interstate RVer. Alright folks, Interstate RVer here. Woo! Cold out here today. I got my watch cap on because I'm keeping a watch on things. Man, it was down in the low 30s last night. You know, and I don't use my furnace that much. I just run it a couple of, 20 minutes and then turn it off. But I was under the blankets and man, it was nice and warm. Unfortunately, I'm on location here at an undisclosed Chevrolet garage. Broke down again, and of course it was on a Saturday evening, so I'm here on the lot until Monday to get the verdict to see if they can even fix it. The engine is conking out, sensor went out or something. But enough on that later. Let's get to some Kamper's Kwizzz. Kamper's Kwizzz. All right. Nice little scary Halloween-y type deal there. That was pretty neat. I've had plenty of time on my hands since I've been broke down. All right, let's get to it. Number one, what time of day do most full-time tent campers take a shower? What time of the day do most full-time tent campers take a shower? Is it A, after breakfast? Or is it B, after supper? Yeah, get a good hot meal, take a shower, go to bed. All right, let's recap. What time of the day do most full-time tent campers take a shower? We said A, after breakfast. And the B, after supper. Or is it C, after the CDC shows up with a court order? All right, number two. RV wives just can't figure out how their husbands will always wind up with a case of blank. Is it A, poison ivy? Yeah, it could be. Or is it B, diarrhea? All right, let's recap. RV wives just can't figure out how their husbands will always wind up with a case of blank. We said A, poison ivy. B, diarrhea. Or is it C, wind up with a case of booze? Boy, whoo, that cold must have affected me. Man, I tell you, it was cold last night. All right, number three. The big finish. The politicians in Washington are working hard to ensure that the next generation of RVers will have blank. Is it A, pollution-free forest? Been working on it for years. About time to get it done. Or is the correct answer B, protected wildlife? Another thing we've been working on for years, but we'll get it done. Now let's recap. The politicians in Washington are working hard to ensure that the next generation of RVers will have blank. We said A, pollution-free forest. B, protected wildlife. Or would it be C, $10 a gallon gasoline? All right, that's Kamper's Kwizzz. All right, now let's get on to the next segment. The Interstate Way. All right, folks, I want to talk about another little subject. Of course, if you've been watching all the episodes not too long ago, there was another disaster where I was locked inside the RV because the lock failed. Well, I got to thinking about it one day while I was in there in the bathroom, and I thought, hey, what if this doorknob here locks? Well, I wouldn't be able to get out at all. I wouldn't be able to drive around anybody. So I thought, hey, I better remedy that situation right now. So what I did is, with my bathroom door, I turned the lock around. The lock used to be on the inside. Now I turned it to the outside. That way, if I get locked in, I can get out. And you may say, well, how are you going to get out that way, Interstate? Because I keep a screwdriver in the bathroom with me, right in the drawer. So that way, in case I get locked out and this lock fails, I can undo these screws here, take the knob out, push it out the other side, and make my escape to safety. So there you have it. So whether you're at work, home, or play, You're A-OK doing it the interstate way. Interstate RVer's news update. All right, folks. Well, like I said, the big news is that I'm broke down again. So I'm sitting here on the lot at the Chevrolet dealer, waiting for Monday morning for them to open. So what's wrong is that apparently there's a sensor on the engine that failed, and I can drive it a little bit, drive it a little while. Then when it starts warming up, it starts flooding out, and all that kind of good stuff. And then I got to wait till it cools off and then do it again. I had a mechanic at the truck stop look at it, and he looked at it and said, it shouldn't be expensive to fix at all, and hopefully that'll be the deal. Unfortunately, he wasn't allowed to work on gasoline engines. They're tractor and trailer only, so they don't work on motorhomes or cars. That's just their policy, and probably because they charge $250 an hour, and they'd feel bad charging me that. And they knew they wouldn't get it anyway, because up front I made sure I told them I didn't have any money. So we'll sit here and see what happens. So stay tuned. I'll give you the update as it comes along. Joke of the day. All right, got a pretty good one here today. You see, there's this farmer, and he lives next to a lake, a state park, and he notices that every weekend this one guy from the city comes down in his car and his boat, and he goes out fishing. He's out there about maybe an hour and comes back with a 5-gallon bucket full of fish, but no fishing pole, no bait, no tackle box. So this goes on like every weekend. So finally he goes up and he tells he sees the game warden. He knows the game warden. He goes up to him and he tells him what he saw. And that game warden says to him, he goes, well, that doesn't sound right. No pole, no tackle, no bait. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, I'll keep an eye on that codger. So what happens is the next weekend, the game warden dresses up like a fisherman. So the guy comes in there, and the game warden goes up to him. He goes, hey, do you mind if I go fishing with you? And the city guy goes, no, that's all right. Come on, let's go. So him and the game warden get in the boat, and they go out way around the other bend where nobody could see him. So he gets out there, and that game warden says, I hear you catch a lot of fish. What's your secret? He goes, well, I'll show you. So the guy reaches in underneath the seat, and he pulls out a stick of dynamite. He goes, I like to stick of dynamite, and I throw it in there. He goes, and it blows up, and all the fish float to the top. He goes, and I get my net, and I gather them up, put them all in the bucket, and go home. So the game warden, sits there shaking his head. He goes, well, he goes, I'm a game warden. He goes, and what you're doing is highly illegal. He goes, you're going to do jail time. He goes, and I'm going to have to take you in. So the city guy, without even blinking an eye, he reaches in his pocket, gets his lighter, lights that stick of dynamite, and hands it to the game warden and says, what are you going to do? You're going to talk or you're going to fish? All right, folks, that's the show for this week. Woo! And buddy, I'll tell you what, it's been cold. Not the show, but the weather. So I'm hanging in there. You hang in there. Remember, there's a new show every Thursday. And if you're in the Interstate RVer or Tuffy Circle, it'll be before Thursday. May only be one day before Thursday, but it'll be there. You can count on it. So keep on watching, subbing, and sharing. There, I got it right that time. Watching, subbing, and sharing. That's a hard line to say. This is Interstate RVer. See you next week, folks. Keep a stiff upper lip. And remember, you're A-OK doing it the interstate way. Interstate RVer. Over and out.